I have a Pepsi cooler in my store. It was not cold enough. I added 32 ounces can, assuming it was low on freon. At the time I did not have the gauge. It's been running for the last 30 minutes, but it does not feel it's cold. I got the gauge now and it's in yellow area alert. What could be the problem?
All work to be done by licensed professional. We keep going until you have the information you need. I come and go. This is step 1. Hello, welcome to Just Answer. The refrigerant type is crucial. It is not likely that you got the right type of refrigerant by accident. Tell me what it was, and what the model number nameplate on the unit says is the refrigerant it uses. Beyond that, the amount you put in is critical to within 1 or 2 ounces on smaller units. Let me know about the size of the case, we can go from there.
This is the old machine, but the compressor says 134A. I could not find any data on the compressor how much to put, so I used 32 ounces can.
If you put our 134A in it, you are fine. Except for the quantity. Tell me how big the cooler is and I can assess that for you. A 1-door cooler typically holds less than 16 ounces. 32 ounces could ruin the compressor. How many ounces of refrigerant it holds is shown on the nameplate as well. If it ran completely out of refrigerant, it has a leak, and will leak out again unless repaired. If the compressor had merely turned off, due to a bad thermostat etc., then adding any refrigerant is a mistake. Let me know as much detail as possible, we can go from there.
This is 2-door cooler, 51-inch wide, the compressor is running.
That type of unit will hold 32 to 64 ounces of refrigerant or a little more. To assess the charge at this point you need to put gauges on the system and read the head pressure and the suction pressure. If you have no gauges you can locate the condenser coil next to the compressor and feel the pipe between the compressor and the condenser coil. That pipe will be hot if the compressor is running. And the U-bends on the end of the condenser coil will run hot at the top. Warm in the middle, and only the bottom U-bends will be a bit warmer than room temperature. The system was either totally out of gas when you charged it, or it was just low on gas, and you may or may not have overcharged it. Tell me if you have a set of service gauges or not, we can go from there.
All the pipes are hot. I don't have a set of gauges, but I have one hose with a gauge, which I can screw on the empty can of freon I used. I tried it on a car low side, it shows normal reading, so the gauge works. Assuming it was out of freon, how could I overcharge it if it takes between 32 to 64 and I added only 32? I mean all the pipes you mentioned, one between the compressor and condenser, and all U-bends.
If the system was only 5 ounces low on refrigerant and you added 32 ounces, you would be 28 ounces overcharged. That would make the top part of the condenser run hot as blue blazes, damage the compressor, and make the suction pressure run so high that the system wouldn't cool. The charge on many of those units is critical to half an ounce. By adding 32 full ounces it was a bit like trying to kill flies with a machine gun. A lot of collateral damage can occur. This is not a matter of filling up the system with refrigerant. It is more like medicine. You would never take the whole bottle. But only what is prescribed. The suction pressure and the inside box temperature tells us what the system needs. If you can put your gauge on the suction port and tell me what it reads, and give me an exact reading of the temperature inside the box, I can diagnose it from there.
Inside the box, you mean inside the cooler? Temp in the cooler 55 if the thermometer is correct.
Thanks. XXXXXXXXXX need the suction pressure using the gauge you have.
51.
Thanks. http://www.advantageengineering.com/fys/289/advantagify289.php. See column for our 134A second from the right. Next, find 31 degrees Fahrenheit on the left column. The suction pressure for that temperature should read 26.9 psig with a 51 degree box, if the cooling coil is working properly. But the cooling coil is not working properly, so your suction pressure is high. That's due to an overcharge of refrigerant. Remove enough refrigerant to bring suction pressure to 26.9 psig when the cooler inside is at 50 F. Then in a few hours it will cool to 36 or 38 F. The cooling coil should run about 18 degrees, the suction pressure should be about 17 psig. These figures can vary depending on how the cooling coil was sized at the factory. But that's close. When you get it that close, adjust the charge in the system so that the suction line runs cool and sweats a tiny bit at the compressor. But do not run the suction pressure much above the 17 to 20 psig range when the box is at 38 F. If you wish to give me a high rating for this guidance to date, I will have the funds to keep coaching you if you post back.
You are the pro. One more question. Why did you use 31F as the guideline, while the temp in the box was 55?
I selected 31F as the coil temperature with the box at 55 F because the cooling coil always runs cooler than the box. It has to, or it would cool the box. 20 degrees difference is a good rule of thumb. That gets us close. Then when the box gets colder, you trim the charge as described with suction pressure 17 to 20 psig approx and a cool suction line at the compressor. Let me know if the rating box comes up. If you rate me in the top 2, I get paid, and you can repost the thread with follow-up questions if you need to on the same dime, so to speak.
Please explain when the box gets colder you trim the charge. What is you trim the charge?
Hello, trim the charge as described earlier. It means adjust the amount of refrigerant in the system when the box is at 36 or 38 F. So the suction runs cool and sweats a bit where it attaches to the compressor. Trim means adjustment beyond just the gauge pressure reading, but to take into account how cool the suction line is. If part of the compressor begins to sweat or get frost on it, then you still have half an ounce or so too much refrigerant.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.